Tesla's stock has risen more than 1,200% since the fall of 2019 as the firm ramped up production to become the world's largest EV manufacturer. However, investors continue to place a premium on the company's potential rather than real sales and current economic factors. EV startups that went public in recent years are also valued on the same basis, even though they haven't earned revenue yet. In today's video, we'll talk about how the Bidden and Chinese crypto mining bans would influence the EV sector in general, as well as Lucid specifically. Welcome back to NewVehicleMedia, your go-to channel for EV stock. Quick reminder that subscribing's free and liking the video helps YouTube suggest similar videos. Comments are loved and featured in upcoming videos. This year in 2021, however, a dose of reality kicked in, and many of those stocks were forced to come crashing back down to earth. As a result, now is an excellent moment to consider whether adding EV names to your portfolio makes sense at this time, particularly when two of the world's largest EV makers, the United States and China, have expressed an interest in electrifying their respective countries. We'll address the impact of President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure plan, as well as the impact of China's crypto mining ban on the electric vehicle industry. The Biden administration. The commitment of the administration of Biden to boost electric vehicle sales to 50% of new cars by 2030 means that no new car maker can be hidden from the battery power transition. In effort to boost the sales of electric vehicles advantages businesses with all-electric automobiles already on the market and might penalize those who do not. The decision of the president may also benefit startups such as Rivian and Lucid Motors, both located in the US, which are about to launch their first automobiles this year in 2021. Europe and China already extensively promoted electric vehicles through rules, customer incentives, and automaker and battery subsidies. With President Biden's commitment to a similar strategy, the world's three main car markets are transitioning away from internal combustion faster than expected. The decision also sets the stage for even more up-and-comers to succeed within the next decade. Because Tesla has the EV market dominated, Lucid may face challenges in launching its first vehicle, the Air sedan. However, through incentives, this presidential order will persuade customers who may have not been interested in EVs to buy them. Lucid has an opportunity to carve out its own market share before other luxury automakers hurry to build emissions-free cars as it strives to be the premier EV brand in the United States. Lucid investors have become even more optimistic about the company's future as a result of President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure plan. The stock of Lucid has gained a significant amount on the day following Biden's executive order. The stock was boosted by 3% that day. Biden's declaration is also good news for Tesla, which accounts for more than 2/3 of US battery-powered cars, and potentially terrible news for Toyota, the largest car manufacturer in the world, which will start selling its first battery-powered cars in the US next year in 2022. Tesla, of course, already produces 100% electric vehicles as a part of its lineup. As such, it has no catching up to do. Rather, it's setting the pace. Other manufacturers such as GM, Ford, and Volkswagen, which have already started selling tens of thousands of electric cars, but still rely on internal combustion engines for the majority of their sales and profit. It's far from guaranteed that the well-known automakers would divide the rising market for electric vehicles among themselves. The move to battery power allows Chinese automakers to enter new markets, which they are doing with heavy government assistance. For example, as a first move into the European market, NIO has announced plans to build a dealership in Oslo, so the manufacturer must create a compelling product to get market share and make investors gain over their investment in the form of capital gains. Chinese crypto mining ban. China possessed 70% of the computational capacity used by Bitcoin miners around the world, which consumed a whopping 80 terawatt-hours of electricity per year on average. China has ordered power providers to stop selling electricity to cryptocurrency miners. Provincial governments in Guizhou, Qinghai, Inner Mongolia, Xinjiang, Yunnan, and Sichuan have been forced to close server farms due to the Chinese government's ban on cryptocurrency mining. The ban is allegedly motivated by concerns about the amount of electricity cryptocurrency miners consume to solve complex problems known as mining. The transformation in capacity consumption in the world's largest automobile market could be a game-changer for electric vehicles. By 2030, China's highways might be 3/4 non-fossil fuel vehicles compared to the United States, where electrification is just 50% by that time. In China, underutilized hydroelectric power capacity has allowed EV charging networks to flourish, a scenario that could further boost the appeal of new energy vehicles. In the first year alone, the prohibition on energy-guzzling cryptocurrency mines could save more than 50 terawatt-hours, which is enough to power an industrialized city with 1 million residents for 33 years, or charge 10 million electric vehicles once a week for a year. It turns out that China's economy has received a double dose of good news. The best illustration of China's efforts to achieve its carbon neutrality aim is cracking down on power-hungry Bitcoin mines and repurposing the spare capacity to promote the development of the future of mobility. The abundant electricity in China, particularly in the hydropower-rich provinces of Sichuan and Yunnan, may be used to develop enough charging stations to reduce the EV customers' range concern. Guizhou, a hilly region in southern China with numerous Bitcoin mines, announced last month a plan to create 4,500 EV charging stations this year, 5,000 next year, and 5,500 in 2023. In China, the demand for electric vehicles will expand as a result of this. Additionally, it provides a platform for emerging EV manufacturers such as Lucid and Rivian to penetrate the world's largest EV market. The conclusion: there are various factors that influence whether or not now is a good time for investors to acquire EV stocks. First and foremost, they must be a good fit in your existing portfolio and the amount of risk that you're willing to take in a specific investment. However, the prices of some of the mentioned manufacturers have dropped in recent months, making it an excellent moment to dig deeper and conduct additional study on whether to take a long position or not. It's possible that numerous electric vehicle startups will fail. Some investments may fail completely, while others may pop to soar to unprecedented heights. Certainly, any company that is not yet profitable or that has not yet generated revenue should be regarded as a dubious acquisition. The good news is that for those with a long-term outlook and a correct risk allocation, this may be an excellent moment to join the burgeoning business at the beginning of its growth cycle. More government subsidies and incentives will encourage more consumers to purchase electric vehicles, and the greater the number of people who purchase, the greater the likelihood that Lucid will earn more sales. The strategy also pledges to improve charging infrastructure across the country, which will benefit all local EV manufacturers and, ultimately, their stock prices. Mr. Biden's explicit aim for electric vehicle sales adds momentum to the clean transportation movement, but it may also unleash forces that automakers cannot control. Consumers may rush to electric vehicles as they become less expensive and gasoline vehicles lose value. Except for Tesla and a few startups like Lucid, most automakers still produce cars using internal combustion engines and ultimately lose their stock value. What are your thoughts? Would the Biden decision and Chinese mining ban move the stock in a positive trend? Let us know in the comments section below. Peter believes that the EV market is crazy at the moment. Likewise to our conclusion, Peter is in favor of diversifying the portfolio. We're happy for your return on investment and good luck for the future positions as well. That should wrap things up for today. Keep in mind that subscribing's still free and liking helps YouTube recognize your preferences. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video.